Hello, everybody. Let's start with the second part of our heredity and evolution, in which we are going to study the evolution and the evidences which show the evolution and whatever procedures are there ahead, like whoever had invented or discovered the genes or maybe the origin of species and what are the types of species that were discovered, how the human evolution happened. We're going to learn this in the next part. But right now we're going to do evolution and its evidence. Let's start with that. Okay, so as in the earlier video, we have already studied what do you mean by heredity and how are the changes. If you have not seen the video, please go back to that video, have a quick glimpse on it. Please see the video and then come to this video. We have also done DNA, we have done transcription, translation, translocation. I've given you good tricks about it. How do we have to go about with it? What does this transcription, translation, and translocation means? If not done, please go back to the video and revise it and then come back to this. What do you mean by evolution, which we are going to do today? Is evolution is actually a gradual change which happens in a period of time. If you have seen, dinosaurs were a type of a reptile only. Nowadays, also we have reptiles around us, like monitor lizard, normal lizards, and many more snakes, and many species of lizards we have. They are also having an evolution from the dinosaur. They have literally converted to a small type of a lizard. Okay, so there is also an evolution that is happening. Even for us, also, we were apes, more monkeys, like literally monkeys and apes. But we also gradually evolved, and now we are like normal human beings, which we are able to think, walk, speak, and do many AI things that we are doing it right now in our day-to-day life. We are using computers, phones, TVs, etc. So many gadgets we are using. But whereas if you see, an ape wouldn't be able to use these all AI technology because he's not, because the ape is not in the 21st century, and even the brain is not evolved enough. And when you see, we'll see it ahead in human evolution. That time, the brain of the apes was very small. There were no grooves, there were no convolution in which there was no dignity to find much amount information and store much amount of information in it. And slowly and slowly, gradually, as soon as the grooves, convolutions started to develop inside the brain, the ape started to develop itself into a complete young man. Okay, so then they can do many other procedures like burning up the fires with rubbing two stones because of the friction, and so many things. Hunting, catching prey, and everything. So many things were being done. Evolution is a gradual process of change in the organism over a long duration of time. Of course, there is a long duration. Any sudden change is called as mutation that happens only in your gene, as I have told you many times before, also in 9th standard, as well as told you in the first video of this chapter. And right now, also I'm mentioning mutation means any sudden change in the gene sequence that happens. But evolution is nothing but a gradual change which happens in a very long period of time. It is a slow and a continuous process through which the diversity in an organism is achieved. There is a diversity. Diversity means the development comes in the organism. From a ape, it is becoming a young, a complete, functionable man. It is a diversity that is being changed. From climbing from here to here, from one tree to another tree, they are literally able to walk, talk, and converse with the other people, and they can make so many things around themselves. They are able to make man-made materials and everything. Whereas if you see monkeys, are they able to make anything? No. Okay, they can make their own house and they can just jump from here and there and they can find their own food. That's it. Nothing apart from that. Evolution includes changes in every day, everything from the stars to the planets to the organism in the biosphere. If you might have heard about the Pluto was a complete planet, but while gradually coming to this 21st century, there were so many gradual changes in that Pluto that it became a dwarf planet. Dwarf planet means what? A smaller planet which is not which we are not able to see. So that is why it became a small star type of a planet, like literally very tiny. So that is why it is called as a dwarf planet. which is now not counted in the solar system. Before it was counted in the solar system, but now it is not counted in the solar system. Formation of new species due to the genetic variation and the natural selection is also a part of evolution. Even genetic changes which happens in our, or if there is a disease that enters in some of the other parent, and then it is transferred to the another child or the offspring they are producing, it will also have that disease, and they will pass the disease to the next generation and the next generation, and it will carry henceforth. But in that case, it is all about genetic changes if it happens so. But natural selection is also a very important part, because it cannot only depend on the environment what we are living in. It depends on the nature also, what the nature wants, how the nature has to be. Nature, I mean not by the human nature, but I mean the surrounding nature that we have. Okay, if you see one child who is always grown up in an environment where there is so much of chaos, he will be very agitated and irritated person. Like, when he comes out of his place, he will be literally agitated. He doesn't want to talk to anybody or something like that. But one who comes from a very calm place, a very pleasant place, would be like so polite to the other one. So that is how nature plays a very important role in our surrounding. Like, what our surrounding is has a major role in our the evolution. Yeah. Of evaluation, now we are going to study whatever the evidences are there in our day-to-day life that we have received from our precursors and our ancestors and everybody. So although evolution is a continuous process, scientific proof is necessary. Anything that is there that requires a proof, everything will require a proof. If something is stolen, if something is taken from one place to another, it requires a proof. That what is the proof that it is dispatched and it is being released to the other place. So in that case, there is a proof that is being built up. Here are two main types, not two main actually, there are five main. Sorry to change that. Five main types of the evidences, that is morphological evidence, anatomical evidence, planetological evidence, and connecting link and embryological evidence. You have to learn all these type of evidences. It is very, very, very important. You will literally learn within like seconds when I explain it to you. It is not at all difficult. It is not at all difficult. So make sure you keep your focus constantly on the screen right now. Here we go. What is morphological evidence? Morphological evidence. Morphology means what? The external appearance. Morphology means what? The external appearance. So morphological evidence means what? The external appearance relates to the other person or the other animal. Okay, so observation of the similarities in the animal, similarities of the mouth structure, the nostrils, the ears, the body hair. Okay, and in plants, the similarities has been shown in the leaves, leaf shape, leaf veins, petiole, etc. These similarities suggest that organism may share a common ancestor. There can be a chance a cute little cat and a cute little dog is given here. You can just look at them. Can you see the nose, the nostril is literally triangular. So there is a common thing that we can see over there. Then the eyes are round, and like you can see the mouth is also somewhat around the same. So in that case, there are the ear differs, but though more the something or the other majority characteristics is same. So we can say they are from a common ancestor. Okay, similar to that ancestor, but a common ancestor they might be belonging. Might be. Okay. And in plants, if you have seen, some might have some spindle-like shape, some might have some canopy-like shape. The leaf structures may differ, but you might have, there is no possible way that you will never find a specific type of a plant leaf which does not resemble to the other one. Means अगर मैं एक हिबिस्कस का प्लांट का लीफ लूंगी, वो कहीं ना कहीं दूसरे कोई तो भी प्लांट से रिजेंबल होता रहेगा. ऐसा कोई भी प्लांट का लीफ नहीं है कि जिसका शेप अलग ही है पूरा पूरा. सबके कोई ना कोई सिमिलैरिटीज किधर ना किधर रहेंगे. मतलब वो क्या बोला जाएगा, वो उसकी कॉमन एंसेस्ट्री है.
Okay, so next we are starting with anatomical evidence. What do you mean by anatomical? Anatomical means inside the bones, the anything that is internal, that is called anatomy. For morphology means outside, anatomy means inside. Okay, so although the outer appearance like hands, fins, wings may differ, if you see, the hands here are for some or the other movement. Here, the fins are for the movement in the water for the swim to the for the fish to move. Here, the bat has wings to fly in the air, but it also has to do what? Movement, right? So, in that case, what is the function of each and everything? Movement. So, can you see the internal bone structure shows similarity? There is some other similarities in their bone structure. It indicates that these animals may have evolved from one common ancestor despite functional difference in their limbs. Means there can be some dysfunctional, of course. Hand is for movement, completely picking up objects and keeping it here and there, but for fishes and everybody it is for swimming, and for bats it is for flying. So that function the use of it is different, but the function is the same, that is the movement. Okay, now, what do you mean by planetological evidence? What do you mean by planetological evidence? Means anything that is related to fossil. If you don't know what is a fossil, I can explain you. It is only the degenerated animals and the decay of the animals which is left when there is a volcanic eruption, or when any such disaster happens. That time the large organisms are buried due to the disasters like flood, earthquake, volcanoes. The remnant or the impression on the rock or the mountain or any plain, any muds like surface or any sediment, there is an impression that goes on. So impression is nothing but if a snail or something like this goes on the sand or the rock, there is an impression that is being formed over here. So that is the remnant, and the impression of such animals remains preserved underground. This is called as a fossil fuel. The study of the fossil is important aspect of a study of evolution, because it gives you the major impact of telling you that how we have evolved from our ancestors, how were our ancestors, and how they looked and how were they, and everything like that. So that is what planetological evidence shows. The fossil that has been discovered, if you have seen the skeletons of thousands and thousands of years ago, the dinosaurs were found, that is planetological evidence. That is nothing but telling us the fossils that are telling us how it is been discovered, how we have evolved. Okay, so now how do we discover our planetological evidence? We use a method called as carbon dating. We use a method called as carbon dating. Carbon's consumption of the animal and plant stops after death. After we are dead, we don't consume any carbon. We are only made up of carbon. That is only the thing. Only decay process of C14 occurs. C14, in which we are like completely made up of carbon, carbon, carbon. But C14 is an isotope of carbon which decays. Rest everything is as it is. C14 is nothing but the muscular mass that we are made up of. That is C14. It is made up of C14 carbon. So that decays, but the skeleton is not decayed. In the fossil fuel, the ratio of C14 and C12 changes continuously. C12 is not radioactive. It is not radioactive. Time since the death is calculated by the measuring of the radioactivity of the C14 and the ratio of the C14 and to C12. That is the ratio that is being calculated. There is a formula that you don't have to learn. So that is why I'm not explaining you. But though it is just that the ratio is being calculated in which we can identify how old the species would be. This carbon dating method this is the carbon dating method that has been used in the planetological and anthropology to determine the age of the fossils and the mummies. Anthropology means to identify how long was this mummy decay buried under the ground. Okay, now comes the embryological evidence. Okay, yes, embryological evidence means what? Comparative studies of the embryological evidence. Embryonic development stage varies various vertebrates shows that all the embryos exhibit extreme similarities during the initial stage. Okay, so what does this mean? That when we were small, when we were just this pea size, that time, if you see a pea size or a embryo of a fish, if you see an embryo of a human, if you see a embryo of a chimpanzee, or if you see a embryo of an elephant, any embryo if you see, it will be a pea size, will literally look the same. It will look somewhat like this only, and then gradually and gradually it will change and change, and it will form into a complete new organism, and that will be a complete new adult. I can say a fetus, okay, not an adult. That is all embryo exhibits a extreme similarities during their initial stage, means the first or the second stage of the embryo will be almost the same for all the organisms, and then slowly and gradually they will change in their shapes. Similarities in the initial stage indicates that we have a common origin of all these animals. Simple thing that you have to remember, some common origin of these same animals, that is the common ancestor. They belong to a common ancestor. This means they have a common ancestor. That's it. Is it very clear? I hope it is clear. Fun part here, vestigial organs. Vestigial organs means what? The organs which are of no use. Literally remember it like that, the organs which are of no use. These are the, or they can be useful in some other animals, but it can some animals, or it cannot be useful in some animals. These are the degenerated or the underdeveloped organs that have been lost their original function over the time. They have lost their function, whatever the function that they were doing, they have literally lost it. So why it happens? The evolution does not create any new organ suddenly. Instead, existing organs are gradually and gradually decreased. The structure useful in one situation may be useless or harmful for the other animals. Okay, so same like that, appendix is very important in cattle. Okay, appendix is very crucial for cattle, but if you see humans, it is of no use. In appendix is of no use. You might have heard there is an appendix pain in your stomach, near your stomach, the large intestine, small intestine, near that. So there is a small place where it is hurting a lot, somewhere in your right side, the large intestine, where it ends, it is the appendix, where it is having a lot of pain, but it is of no use in our body. And when it is having so much of pain, it has to be surgically removed outside. There is no other option. We cannot give it medicines or something, it can be cured. We have to surgically remove it out. Natural selection causes such organs to start degenerating, and over thousands of years they may disappear completely also. In some animals it might completely disappear also. These organs may be non-function in some species but functional in the others, indicating common ancestry. Common thing in everything. Evidence to show evolution is common ancestor belong rehna chahiye. Okay, that is simple. Some examples of vestigial organs are in humans. We are learning only about humans here. Appendix, functional in herbivores but not in human. Something like this. This is the appendix. The large intestine का end part जो रहता है, इसको बोला जाता है appendix. Ear muscles. These ear muscles are not required for our. This thing is not ear pinna. This small thing is not required for us. This ear pinna is not required for us, but is required for monkeys. The third molar tooth, which is a excruciating pain to us when it grows. In our elderlies, if you have ever heard them ke अक्कल दांत आ रहा है, मतलब the wisdom tooth is coming out, so that means it is going to have a great impact on your other teeth, or molars and premolars, and it is going to disturb them. That is why it is going to have a great impact and very painful. The body hairs, your hairs on your body, which indicates somebody has many, some human beings have so many hairs on their body which is not required. They literally have to do wax and they have to remove it out and all that. tailbone or the coccyx bone, the spinal cord, the end is called as the tailbone, no longer serve severe major purposes, no longer serves a major purposes, it has no major purposes. But often you must have seen that many people who are constantly sitting, they have a constant sitting job, will have a tailbone problem. Means they will have a problem in their tailbone and they have to surgically improve it, or maybe it can just be devastating lifelong. So that is how this vestigial organs are very harmful also in some animals and humans, but it is very important in some species, but it is not at all important in some species. Okay. Okay. So that we are ending it over here. Let's stop the session right here. We are going to see Lamarckism, Darwinism, and many other human evolution. We're going to see it in the next videos. The coming videos will share about that. Now let's just revise once again the evidence for evolution and all the required textbook objectives, or the reading of the textbook is very essential. I must say that morphological evidence, anatomical evidence, the whole paragraphs are very important. Vestigial organs, you have to find whatever I had given here, it was all from the textbook only. You find those points, underline them, and make a note. It is very important. Examples of human vestigial organs is the most important question for your board examination. So we are ending it over here, and